Okay. Okay. White doggy. White doggy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ah, exciting. Exciting morning.
I just woke up. Which is really
I
crazy. I haven't slept till 9 in I don't know, in years.
yeah, it's awesome.
Which is good because we went out and saw maybe the most amazing band on the planet,
Yeah,
and then
okay. Yeah.
the greatest basketball team in the history of basketball played
One.
last night and won. Yep.
Yeah. And I just want to before we talk about
And I'm
the
drinking the greatest seltzer of all time.
um yeah, I love that like we're late because I this morning I was just feeling like triumphant because I did two really extremely unusual, like radically, truly unusual things. And the one thing was yesterday I did not mow the grass. So I knew it was gonna
Bam!
I knew it was gonna rain today, and the grass needed to be mowed, and I didn't do it because I didn't feel like it. Like I was like, I just don't, I did laundry, whatever. I was doing other stuff. It doesn't matter whether I was doing other stuff or not, but for me, it's unusual in two ways. One is I usually do really like I love mowing the grass. We have like this blade, manual mower or whatever, and it's super fun. I really like it. But I also have a drive, in me that like or that is can be unhealthy. Not can be that well, yeah, can be unhealthy. And where I feel like I must
Mm-hmm.
do these things, and so mowing the grass is one of the things like where I just feel like can feel pressure around it and feel like it's my responsibility and I must do it, and like I have to do it right now. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
rain tomorrow. Oh my god, it's gonna be even worse and whatever.
Mm.
And the other thing is this morning it's just so crazy. I didn't walk the dog. like
Well,
again,
we both had
same thing.
insane
So
days.
I I just it was pouring down rain.
Mm.
Um and I had all my stuff on and with my purple umbrella, and got the dog, in his harness and had it and all the things, and um, went outside, and he was just sitting on the porch. Like he was like, no, not really into it. And then I was like, you got to go pee. And he literally walked off the porch
Mm-hmm.
and went into the grass, peed, and ran under the garage door, up the stairs to the door, and was like, that's it. And I was like, I don't want. I mean, I could like put him on the leash and
Mm-hmm.
like coax him to go for a pouring down in the rain walk, and I was like, I don't really want to do that. So I didn't, which is I'm uncomfortable about those things.
Mm-hmm.
That I didn't do them is like an edge for me because I just have this thing that's like this old thing that's like you
Mm-hmm.
must you must do that. So then when I came to your office, and I was like, okay, like this is weird, but I guess
Well, because
whatever.
usually we text. We usually say hi in the morning by
Right?
text,
Yeah, yeah,
sometime around
yeah,
6:15.
yeah, yeah,
Because we're usually both up, and then
yeah, yeah.
I've by this time, I've taken Anna for a walk, and I've
Mm.
usually sat at
Go,
Capitol Grounds and
right.
drank coffee,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know,
So,
like convince myself that I'm gonna have a good day.
yeah.
And so, and honestly, I can't remember the last time I slept till 9. And I
Mm.
know I've been sort of drained. Like, it's really good. Obviously, I needed the sleep. And so, but so it's an unusual day because I'm literally up. I've been up for like 11 minutes.
Mm.
And so I'm like,
Mm.
whoa. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which in some ways feels really good. So
Yeah, of
yeah,
course, of course. Oh
okay.
my gosh, I would give anything to be able to sleep in or whatever.
Yeah.
So I do
You
want
have to become a Knicks fan.
yeah. I do want to. I mean, I am by proxy. I'm very happy when they win, because of you guys. Um, and I take on that mantle, like with if when other people, like I was the co-op and somebody had a different shirt, and I was like,
You're like, do you punch them?
no. But anyway, it's funny, the fan base thing. But I do. Last night we went to Goddard, the creative, what they're calling it. Now the Goddard College has become the creative campus, and so they had this band. Um, the the Brian Boys is sort of uh,
The conductor and
he
birth
birthed, it was like
man.
his
Yeah.
idea, and he's been doing things beautifully with music for for most of his life, now. And so he has this, it's like it's 22 maybe piece orchestra or something. It's like and they call themselves the Saturn People's Sound Collective.
And when we say
So
yeah, and Saturn People Sound Collective, right?
yeah,
So it is. And when we say orchestra, it's not strings. They have like drums, like four different people on percussion, like
yeah,
electric wah wah guitar,
it's
flute, like
so go on Bandcamp,
saxophone.
go
Yeah,
on Bandcamp and check them out,
yeah.
and it was just
It's
so
like a white person's version of Sun Ra
with
with,
a twist
with a twist.
twists.
It's like yeah,
Yeah.
it's marvelous.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
so good.
they did like a Bjork, what they did a Bjork cover. They
Yeah,
do like
yeah.
their takes on things, and the couple Sun
Wild
Ra.
singing, like yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
just like
and then they did this incredible thing at the end where they went in. It's only the second time I've seen a band do this. The other was Ozzo Motley, where they ended by going into the crowd
yeah,
and got the crowd to like
singing.
sing this like crescendo,
Yeah,
soft thing. And
yeah, it
yeah.
was so great. For me, it was so like truly life affirming. Um, and I mean, I was overwhelmingly like I was experiencing. I was in the back. Somehow made it through the first song without dancing, but then I just went back.
And we were right in the front row, which was
Yeah,
also like where I love to be.
yeah, me too. And so I went into the back and I danced, and I it was like excruciating the amount of joy that I felt, and just what um I was telling you when we were leaving, like what they do, like what the the com- composition that Brian does. It's like I had so many experiences where just the music, something happened, and I just laughed out loud. Like I started giggling, like because I was like, how is this even possible? Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
you got to listen to them. So there was that, and it was just so incredible. And it felt so medicinal, and also just dancing was so great and so fun, even though
Yeah.
yeah, I like more space. I like to take up a lot of space when I dance, but anyway, that's okay. It was incredible, and
Yeah.
so
And
yeah.
I can say, what I think also like energy and flow and healing and all sorts of stuff. I've been having like a really rough few weeks now, 3 weeks or so of just like severe trauma responses and reactions and having a really hard time. It's interesting. I'm curious about like how people experience us talking about the dream work and
Mhm.
like because my projection onto people doing the dream work was like they're always in the flow and they're always remembering
Right.
their dreams, and it's
Yes.
like
Yes.
this constant unfolding of like
Mm-hmm.
growth and connection to like the child's self,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't had that for the last few weeks. I've had in like specifically around being able to feel any flow of my dreams, which is it can feel so disheartening. Like I have such a heavy nihilistic depression experience of feeling so alone, and when I lose that thread, it's tough. I mean, I've learned how to like, but it's like to then not be able to feel the dream places and stuff is like it's just it's intense, like
Yeah.
because then I'm like, does this stuff even work? You know, like I can go down a rabbit hole
Oh.
of like, or maybe not that it doesn't work because I've felt all this amazing change, but it doesn't work enough because here I am still depressed or something to that effect. But it was so wonderful last night because it was like being up front. I could drop in back into my homework, my dream place, even a little bit more deeply than I've been able to, which which is feeling myself as this, like feeling myself really young, like almost pre-verbal, um, and in like my preschool, and with this dolphin in the stream. I think we've talked about where I see this dolphin in it. It's scary in the dream, but in the place that I've entered now, like as the boy, it's just like this boy with a dolphin. It almost feels like like it's so great. I just thought of this now. I love when I think of things as I'm about to say it. So I've been feeling like, oh, it's almost like I have a stuffy dolphin, like I'm like a little, but it's like I actually have a live dolphin, like, which is a whole nother thing. But it feels like a transitional object. You know how like kids like Totoro or like these wonderful magical creatures that come in, like I don't think I
Nuffle
really.
Bunny, wake.
Yeah, Nuffle Bunny. Like I feel like I never had that. Like as a kid, like I didn't ever even feel safe enough that a stuffy helped me feel good. And I had a lot of stuffies, and they fucking all burned in this fire when I was like 6. So there's all these traumas I had that weren't even enough to feel. I was too traumatized to even feel the trauma of these like traumatizing things. But that's what it feels like. It was like feeling myself as like a 6-year-old boy, as a 5, 6 preschool, like very particular related to preschool. Because in another dream, I'm at a preschool, and I can sort of feel that there are kids running around, but I feel like this woman doesn't want me there or something. But with the dolphin, I'm there, like so. So that was, one of the wonderful things was going out and being able to feel that, as opposed to like being in my zen, quiet place trying to find my way back. So.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really felt you. Like when I came up in the last song, and like, because I kind of was like, yeah, whatever. I wanted to check in, to
Well,
see.
you asked me, I was okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been really struggling with really heavy depression
and just being really tired. Yeah, tired and stuff. And so, and it just so happened that then they were doing their last song, which was amazing. And but you were also doing fine and I felt
and the
like
Knicks game was going on, so I did
felt this vivacious, like you were clapping at one point, or the way you were moving. I was like, whoa,
she's back.
Like I was just like, it was very, like you were very enlivened.
Let's.
Yeah.
It's very dramatic, Ananobi. The difference for me between being a living and not in living.
Yeah, one of the things that I was feeling into this morning, and came up with a conversation I was having earlier. Also, that just feels, and it's kind of, it is connected to what you were saying about like, you just felt like people, like are people receiving how we talk about the work, and and the dream work, and what are they gleaning from it, and understanding and feeling, and this sort of like idea that you had, and I had that idea as well, back in the day, like when and I also like pretended that you know what I mean? Like that I was like, I tried to like assimilate that like I am just most of the time I'm in my work home, and like some, for me that was like really ego driven and really like, I have a funny word for it. Something like, I'm a deeply spiritual person. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a deeply, and so now I don't have that. I feel like it's really important. Like part of something that when as I'm working with people, I really don't want that to be the perception.
Mm-hmm.
So and part of why I love this and why I really love doing this podcast is because I want to be an example. Like I'll use myself as a living example of like how I'm not that, how it's like real, how
Mm-hmm.
this like working our dreams in this way and are so useful, and like it's such a great tool. Like the dream place to return to is such a great tool as we're going through our absolutely everyday life. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was feeling this morning like one, like the kind of the true preciousness of not like, oh, that's so they're so precious, but like that true deep
Mm-hmm.
like preciousness of a child kind of a thing, like um of the everyday, of the everyday. And there's like I just feel like today I've been feeling like kind of in a positive way, like how everything matters. Not like the mind can use that as like, holy shit,
Mm-hmm.
everything is so important. But I just mean like how every little moment, has depth and there's
Mm-hmm.
more there than we think. And so I have just been feeling that. Um, but I had a couple really hard days last week. I mean, maybe, yeah, and a couple really hard days in a specific way that where I was working at this restaurant where I work, and it's we're extremely bare bones staff,
Mm-hmm.
extremely, and it was very, very, very busy, and I was doing a lot of things, and it was to the point of, as a server, you would say I'm in the weeds, like
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, okay, there's busy, and then there's like the waves have come crashing in and I am completely underwater is how
Mm-hmm.
I feel it. Is like not in the archetypal underwater way, but like the pound and the waves keep pounding, every time I try to stand up
Mm-hmm.
and I can take a deeper, the waves just keep pounding. And it was really, it sucked and it was really hard. And to make matters, even now it's funny to me, and that's how I was feeling it this morning and since, in the days following. But I just felt so bad because I was not able to be as present with people. Like I love that job because all I want to do is like be with each person
Mm-hmm.
for however many minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes if I'm, if there's more space, but I just love being with people and really being like meeting them where they are. And it just is like it just really is fulfilling and greatly joyful for me. Um, and I wasn't able to do that. And so after there was a moment when it like was things were still, and then immediately my mind was like I was beating myself up for like not being able to be as present and giving as I usually am
Mm-hmm.
with people. And it took me like I swear until 7 p.m.
What day
that
was this?
night, that on
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday or Thursday, I can't. But it took me like from I go into work by 8 a.m. But that day it was Wednesday because I started at 7:40. I went
Mm-hmm.
into work because Wednesdays are just crazy. There's a lot of we get a lot of deliveries, and I'm responsible for things in that. And so I was whatever. So I was and then it took almost 12 hours, for me to just feel like for me to be able to let go of just feeling like shit
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't like the optimal,
Mm-hmm.
like present, loving person. Um,
Mm-hmm.
And
What a burden.
and and during that time, as I talked about in class yesterday, the I did have these moments where I was standing with people and I was returning to my dream place as
Mm-hmm.
I was standing with them, and all this stuff was happening around me, and it was like really um like it was warping reality. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was really like whoa, really intense to do that, because I was like like it was like all this stuff was happening, and then this person's talking to me and I'm doing this other thing, and it was like, yeah, it was interesting. So, and it still was very overwhelming, and
Mm-hmm.
and difficult to just, I was just on a human level. It's like when people call and it's just, and they say like, I want 7 pizzas, and in 10, can I come in 10 minutes and pick them
Mm-hmm.
up? And I'm like, no, you cannot,
Mm-hmm.
because we are, I have one human back there making everything, and it's not just pizzas. It's like, different appetizers, and they're not, there's pizzas, it's more than you think, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just like, it's literally not humanly possible, and what I was doing was not, it was past the point of being humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
So there is just, I was doing my best because it was absurd,
Right.
the amount of things that were happening. So, and yet I was just like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
and that person came in, and I really love and like
Mm-hmm.
they're so disappointed in me, like the projection,
Mm-hmm.
like I really disappointed them, and like what, and I'm disappointed too, because I love, I
Mm-hmm.
love connecting with them, and I didn't get to do that. So anyway, that goes, just in the realm of like, this is life, and yeah. So that was a lot of words. I hope that wasn't incredibly boring for people.
Mm-hmm.
But
Capturing the human experience.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so, there's so much richness. There's so much richness for for learning, and for me, like the humility, and like last night I was able to really hold the humor of my absurd um kind of moments of reactivity, and
Mm-hmm.
um so, and just be like, ah,
Yeah.
like you want it to just be you dancing back here, so you
Mm.
have all the space that you need. And
Mm.
guess what, you can't, oh, you don't want that man to come and ask you if you can move, because you're blocking,
Right.
you know that them.
From.
And I was like in such, and when they came, this is like a super setup moment where, because the moment when he approached me, I was like in ecstasy. I was really like, I was
Mm.
in my place right now, is to be this boy, and I was really able to do that. It was a great opportunity to be this boy.
Mm.
So I was like really enjoying myself,
Mm-hmm.
and then this man comes, and which I think is another thing. It's like an older, you know, well to do, his vibe was very like put together,
Mm-hmm.
like polo shirt,
Mm.
preppy, guy. And that's, a for me, like, can be like a potential, whatever triggering thing,
Mm-hmm.
or a place to project, where I can project
Mm-hmm.
onto. And and he said, can you move over?
Mm-hmm.
And it took me like the next song to like fucking work inside myself,
Mm-hmm.
to not just be so irritated, go from like anger to like my trauma projection, which is like, my soul itself is being was crushed by that man,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't get to be who I am, and it's just like completely, that wasn't that,
That
like he
wasn't what
wanted
was
to,
actually
yeah,
happening.
like he
Yeah.
wanted to see, and the seating was such that, anyway. So yeah. Oh, whoa. Yeah, funny. So funny.
Mm.
Yeah, just like so much of it comes back to for me like our tender hearts, like the tender, our tender human hearts. And
Yeah.
um yeah. Yeah, I really felt last night in real time like so deeply how there's so many memes and Instagram posts and whatever the things are called with just the, the little block with words in it, and that say like, joy is an act of resistance, or and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. And but I felt truly how what was happening was making a difference. Like I
Mm-hmm.
really felt like what was that art that was happening and the music that was being played, just that
Mm-hmm.
was really having an effect on the world. Like I somehow I
Mm-hmm.
was just like felt the how the ripples of it were
Mm-hmm.
like going out and out and out in ways that we can't even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was so real and so true and like so. I mean, that's I love Brian so much. Like, and part of what I love about him, the sort of conductor. He's an amazing musician and an artist, and he is so genuine. Like for me, when he is up on stage, whether he's playing or he's kind of conducting,
Mm-hmm.
he's in his calling. Like as I mean, and I feel like he has several. He's very very gifted with working with as an educator and a teacher. Um, he's just so how you can just feel how authentic
Mm-hmm.
and true, like absolutely there's no like trying to be something or trying to look a certain way or trying like
Mm-hmm.
whatever posturing. Like for me, I don't feel that at all. Like I
Mm-hmm.
just feel him truly as himself. And it's so it just moves me beyond. Yeah, I'm just so happy
Mm-hmm.
um that he exists and is doing what he's doing, because it's just, yeah. So um I'm still feeling, I sort of can still feel it. Like I can still feel the residue and the
Mm-hmm.
of that. So very grateful.
I'm still waking up.
Mm,
The birds.
mm. Yeah, it happened.
Spring
It happened. Yeah, we
happened.
didn't. Oh, we didn't do a podcast because we were away last weekend at Wake's Ultimate Frisbee tournament out of state, and
In Massachusetts, where they
and during that
kicked
time when we
ass.
were there in Massachusetts, I was like, holy crap, like they're
Mm.
so ahead of us. Like look at all the leaves on all the trees, and like everything is like poosh. And now I think that's where we are pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. Like it's like, yeah, it happened. Even though it's just 50 degrees today, and I'm still wearing my winter suit in the mornings often. Um,
I'm just texting our son.
to just not feel cold. So, yeah, it's kind of feeling hopeful, though people are already complaining about the heat. Speaking of human, love just like being human, and
Yeah.
is
It's such a Vermont. It feels like such a particular Vermont thing.
it is, and also I do feel like it would be interesting or useful, or I have curiosity about. I don't know, maybe this is messed up, but um of just like if people were more aware of that,
Mm-hmm.
because like I really feel like it has an effect.
Mm-hmm.
And the complaining about everything, like to me, it isn't like it isn't it's hard for me to laugh about because partially because I get a good bit of it, just the nature of having a job interfacing with the public. But between what's happening in our country and social media and how that's just constantly like barfing like really negative stuff and putting it like releasing that into the atmosphere, then people doing it, it's very, I think it really takes a toll in ways that over time, especially in ways that are significant. And Gabor Mate, has really spoken about, like, very specifically, about how that can really, certain things can really, like, cause us over time. He talks about, like, now, specifically women and caretakers and how they have there's studies now how and anyway, it would be great to not put out less of that. But
studies of caretakers who what?
Yeah, I don't. It's like so tricky because it can feel like, oh, it's your fault for like getting this disease. Oh, it's your fault. You're caretaking people, and then you get to. But like it's just he talks about it in all of his interviews and in his books, and which is just how studies have been shown that like autoimmune diseases are really most common in women. Some cancer stuff, it's like can be traced to it, like they're just seeing a pattern, with like women who are specifically who are just relating it to putting your needs last and taking care of yourself last and taking care of other people.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah. So stuff like that. So
we could talk about that a lot. I mean, everybody's so everyone who's taking care of other people is so under resourced. Because there's no resource for taking care of people. So everyone who's doing it is being traumatized because they don't have the resources for themselves to do it.
Right.
Everybody's underpaid and overworked. And like literally everyone who's doing this work, especially and I've been in the field now for a while, it's getting worse and worse and worse. That people are fighting for funding more and working too hard and having to do way more fucking paperwork and I mean it's
right and
disgusting.
Fight for
anyway. I have a session in a few minutes. I need to get coffee.
Okay.
I feel a little rushed. I'm like waking up and feeling all old trauma stuff also that's just still there, which is fucking annoying. And I want more energy in my life because I did 2 wonderful things yesterday. Going to this concert with you and going to Dog Mountain out in St. John's, Vermont.
The dog chapel,
which was amazing with dogs running around in a pond full of tennis balls, and that was good with 2 very dear friends. And Vermont is incredibly, incredibly beautiful, and so yeah. All right,
y'all.
We'll see you next week. We'll be back for sure.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.